Now at TaylorMade, we offer 3 distinctive different styles of fits of boat covers: universal, semi-custom, and custom cover fits. They each offer different features and benefits, and a lot of which cover you choose depends upon what use you're going to use for that cover. Now the semi-custom covers are all based around the hull style of your boat. So we offer in the neighborhood of about 30 different hull styles, everything from basic fishing boats to deck boats to V-hulls to offshore fishing. Almost any typical hull style that you can think of, we offer a semi-custom cover for those boats. Now the way we do the center line of those, they are in a 1-foot center line increment. Now there's many covers, many patterns that we offer multiple beam widths for that particular center line of cover, especially when you in V-hulls and in the cuddies, V-hull cuddies. So what you do is you choose first the hull style of your boat, and then what is my center line, and does it fall within what foot increment of range, and then what is the beam width of my boat. And remember, the beam width isn't necessarily what your manufacturer calls out, but the widest point across the hull of your cover. Now the semi-custom covers are also available in some fabric upgrades. What we've chosen today for our boat is our poly cotton. Now that's a very popular fabric. It's a polyester and cotton blend. It's been around for years, a tried and true fabric. But we also offer an upgrade to our hot shot fabric, which contains a 5-year warranty. Okay, the first thing we need to know to determine the right boat cover for this boat is the center line and beam dimensions. Now, quite often the manufacturer will, tell you the length of the boat, like this is a 23-foot sea ray. Well, you can't necessarily go by that. You want to take a dimension. So what you need is a tape measure, obviously longer than the length of your boat. And start in the bow, and with a helper, pick a point. It's the farthest point on the bow. And you want to measure back towards the stern. Now you want to measure at a horizontal plane. So you don't want to go up and over windshields or tops or anything like that. You want a horizontal dimension straight through the boat, all the way to the farthest point on the stern. Now for this boat, we're at 22 feet 8 inches. So that would be the center line measurement that we're going to use to choose our boat cover. The next dimension you need is the beam width of your boat. Now, very often the manufacturers will specify a beam width. That's not always the widest point of the boat. So what you want to do is look at your hull style and take a dimension across the boat from port to starboard at the widest point of your boat. Again, I got a helper over here. I'm going to hold the tape measure at the widest point, and it looks like 102 inches for this boat. Okay, in getting ready to install our semi-custom cover today, we've chosen a clean, dry area to unfold the cover, a garage perhaps, or out in the yard. In the unlikely event that maybe you've chosen the wrong part number or the wrong hull style for your boat, you're going to want to return that cover, and it's always best to return it in as good as possible condition as you can. Now the first thing we want to do is identify the bow and the stern portions of the cover. Obviously, on a V-hull bow rider, the bow is going to be a much more pointed area. And also, on the underside of the cover in the bow, there's a sewn-in label that's going to indicate that, hey, this is the front of the boat. So identify the bow section. And now in the stern, typically in the area by the cutout, there'll be a cutout in the rear section. And there's another sewn-in label on the underside of the cover. This label is going to indicate the hull style of your boat. It's going to tell you that it's a 21 to 23 foot bow rider. It's going to give you the beam. It's going to give you the date of inspection and the part number. Now it's always a good idea to cross-reference the part number on this tag with the part number on the box. So before you get too far along, you want to make sure that those two numbers match. Now, next thing we want to do is stretch this cover out, get ready to put it on the boat. Okay, so now I'm going to roll this cover from the stern towards the bow, top side up, in preparation for trying this cover on. Okay, Okay, so we're ready to install our poly-cotton semi-custom cover. We've located the bow, we've hooked that right over the end of the bow as tight as we can. Now we're going to roll the cover back over the boat. Now as you're bringing the cover back, you get to windshield areas or over cleats or anything that might be a little sharp. You want to be careful with the fabric. Last thing you want to do is cut this thing the first time you put it on your boat. Speaking of any sharp windshield corners or anything like that, it's always a good idea to pad those things before you trailer with the cover on the boat. Custom covers, as we spoke earlier, they come with reinforcements already sewn in, but since we don't know where those things are going to fall, given a semi-custom cover fit, you have the option of buying a reinforcement kit that you could install yourself, or pad those areas with a towel or something that you have handy. Okay, we've got the cover over the boat, got it on in the bow and over the stern corners, kind of got it centered left to right, port to starboard, on the boat itself. Now we're going to tighten the shock cord that's sewn into the hem of this cover all the way around. We're going to do that to pull that cover tight up against the hull of your boat. What you want to do is in the stern you'll locate this cutout. You'll find where the shock cord comes out of the cover, and then you're just going to tug on that, and it will gradually bring that fabric up tight against the hull of your boat. All right, we've pulled the shock cord tight in the hem of this cover. One of the things you want to consider as you're doing this is the use of the cover. If it's going to go on a boat and be stored in your yard on the trailer or perhaps even indoor storage, you may not want to put too much tension on the shock cord because it just makes it a little bit harder to put it on and off. If this cover is going to be on a boat in a mooring situation or at the dock, you probably want to keep it pretty darn tight because that'll help hold that cover tight against the hull through wind and rain and that type of thing. Last thing you want to do is any extra shock cord that you have after you've got it tensioned the way you want, simply cut it off and discard it. Okay, we've got our semi-custom boat cover installed on our Sea right here. And as you can see, the semi-custom patterns, they're cut for a 1 foot variation in center line of the boat and to that specific hull style. So if you notice, the cover comes down approximately the same distance around the rub rail. It follows the lines of this boat pretty well, so you can see this cover was cut to a boat that is shaped very similar to the one that we have. Now included with all of our semi-custom boat covers are tie-down straps. You get a 10-pack of 8-foot long tie-downs. This is a polypropylene webbing strap with UV stabilizers. And then around the hem of the cover, you'll see sewn into our tie-down loops is an adjuster buckle. Now one thing I want to mention also is we've chosen the poly-cotton fabric today for this boat, but you can upgrade your semi-custom cover to a polyester, our hot shot fabric. In addition to the better fabric and the higher year warranty, you also get sewn-in reinforcement over the windshield patch. Okay, the tie-down straps that come with your semi-custom boat cover are 8 feet long and they have a loop sewn in one end. So to attach the cover to your boat, simply loop the tie-down strap around your trailer. You want to try to find a spot that's pretty much in line with each of the loops that are sewn into the cover. And then thread this adjuster buckle. There's instructions that come with your cover that will show you exactly how to do this. And tighten to secure. Okay, we've completed the installation of our semi-custom boat cover today. Last thing I wanted to mention is if any of the areas around your boat where the straps you have extra length, feel free to cut that off, but just take a lighter and burn those edges so they don't fray. That concludes our installation today, and you're ready to hit the road. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've installed our semi-custom boat cover on our Sea Ray today. And I just wanted to kind of just one more time run through the benefits. Semi-custom covers are fit to a specific hull style of boat. Within each of the hull styles, you have a 1 foot increment in center line, and on several models, some variation in beam width of the boat. So you're going to get a much better fit to your specific model than you would with, say, the universal fit covers. Now also, included with all the semi-custom covers are a tie-down kit. You're going to get 10 links, 8 feet long, to secure your cover to the trailer for trailering. On the hem of the cover, you'll see all the tie-down loops sewn in with the adjuster buckle already installed. Now, in our semi-custom covers, you can also get a fabric upgrade to our Hot Shot pigment-dyed polyester fabric. Now, the Hot Shot gives you a better warranty, a 5-year warranty versus the 2-year on poly cotton. It also has an extra feature of a sewn-in windshield reinforcement. A lot of times, that's one of the areas that will prematurely wear out on your cover. So, if you upgrade to the better fabric, we also sew in those reinforcements. So, in conclusion, better fit, nice options, available fabric upgrade. And again, for any other questions, go to our website, tailormadeproducts.com.